This devastating crash in Kentucky has left at least 9 dead. Because yesterday afternoon in Louisville, UPS Flight 2976 headed to Honolulu took off from the Muhammad Ali International Airport, climbed about 175 feet, before then very quickly coming down and exploding. With video showing flames on one of the wings as the plane's taking off and a huge fireball and pillar of smoke when it hit the ground again. So as of this morning, the casualty list includes at least 9 people killed, 11 more injured, and 16 unaccounted for. With some of the unaccounted coming from at least one of the 2 local businesses that the plane hit on the way down. And one of those being Grade A Auto Parts, and you had the store's chief operating officer saying that he was in his office when the power went out and the entire building shook. Right, and after hearing a bunch of explosions, he ran outside and saw flames and smoke engulfing the company's scrap metal department, which actually has several buildings and is where the plane actually made contact. So with that, he said a bunch of people came running out of the buildings, climbing through windows to escape, but there are still 2 employees unaccounted for. Right, and also because the shop gets some 200 to 250 customers a day, right now there's really no telling how many were on site at the time of the crash. And then as far as the other business that got hit, that was a waste management company, and they said that thankfully no one was there when the plane came down. But then also as for the other victims, we know that there was a crew of 3 people on the plane, though their condition specifically isn't known. But also for the people killed, they weren't on the plane itself, and some of the other victims reportedly have been hospitalized with, quote, very significant injuries. Though again, according to Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, we should expect these numbers to change and go up in the coming days. Now, as far as what we know about the plane, it wasn't carrying any hazardous materials that would create an environmental issue, but that fire still took hundreds of firefighters hours to even get contained. Right, and that likely in part because of the 38,000 gallons of jet fuel that the plane had on board for their trip to Honolulu. Also, following the crash, the airport got shut down for the night, along with the local public schools being closed for today. You've also had the shelter-in-place orders gradually shrinking to just a quarter-mile radius from the crash site as of this morning. They've also had UPS saying that they halted package sorting operations at their Worldport Global Air Hub in the Louisville airport, which is actually a central part of its global operations. I mean, we're talking hosting 300 flights and processing 2 million packages a day. As far as what's next, you have the National Transportation Safety Board. They're going to be handling the investigation into exactly what happened here. And in fact, they're supposed to have 28 people landing in Louisville today to kick things off. But you already have some experts weighing in on what could have gone wrong. Right, and that including people like Scott Dunham, a retired investigator with the NTSB, who said that, the fire on the wing in the videos, it's a pretty good place to start. With them adding, the investigators will likely be looking for evidence of an uncontained engine failure, where a high-speed rotating part of an engine fractures, which can result in catastrophic damage to the engine, fuel lines, or other parts of the structure. The presence of that much fire suggests significant disruption of the engine fuel supply, a possible consequence of an uncontained failure.